Hello guys, and welcome to this another video from Anglo 2 series for absolute beginners. And in this video we are going to learn about behavior directives in Angular. Now guys, behavior directives in Angular are something which can apply changes to your HTML on runtime. They are not basically used for modifying the structure, unlike structure directives. Rather, they are used for modifying the layout or modifying the look and feel of your HTML. Basically, if at some point of time you need to change the color or the height or the width or the particular layout of any of your HTML node, that all can be done using behavior directives in Angular. Now guys, there are two commonly used behavior directives. The first one of them is ngClass and the second one is ngStyle. And in this video, we are going to see the usage of both of them. Now let's quickly get started for ngClass. And guys, in this video, I'm going to use the same files, the same component from my last video on structural directives. So here we are. I have this person component.ts, which is the component file. Now this is the HTML file, and here is the CSS file for this person component. And let's see how it looks on the screen. Okay, so this is how it looks on the screen. Basically, we are iterating a person list from a component which has these three strings, and then we are using ng for directives to iterate them on a screen and display one at a time. Now guys, to start with, I'm going to put a ngClass directive on this, and this is how we put the ngClass directive by wrapping this ngClass attribute inside this square bracket. Remember, the behavior directives, unlike structure directive, do not take the asterisk sign or the star sign in front of them. Next thing that ngClass takes is object, basically whose keys are the classes to be applied on a particular node, and whose values are the properties or the conditions or a check to be evaluated before applying the class. So what we mean is basically, let me put a class on this. So let's call this black background. uh, Sorry, that should be b. Okay, let me put this black background class on this, and let me give it a condition: person is equal to superman. Okay, so guys, here I have ngClass directive in use. I have put this black busy class on this particular node, and I have given the condition that person is equal to superman. What this means is, Angular is going to check if the person is equal to superman for all the instances of this paragraph tag inside this ng for loop. So whenever the person is equal to superman, this particular class will be applied on the paragraph tag. For all other paragraph tag, the class will not be applied because the condition will be false. Now let's see it, and before seeing it on the browser, we need to implement that class. So I'm going to quickly implement this class right here. Okay, so basically I'm going to put a background color black, and then also I will need a white text color. Okay, so now let's see it on the screen. And okay, so this is not being applied yet. Black busy is a class name, and right here, okay, I haven't saved this HTML file, so I need to save this file first. Now I have saved it, and let's go to the browser. And in the browser you can see that superman paragraph tag is highlighted in black color with white text. So basically our ngClass directive is working and is applying this black busy class whenever the person is equal to superman. Now we are not restricted to use only one class, we can use more than one class. So let me make a quick another class which I will be calling blue background, and I need this class only when person is equal to, let's call it Spider-Man. Okay, so this should be Spider-Man, else it will not match the condition. Now, whenever the person is Spider-Man, this blue background class should be applied, and also I need to implement it first in my CSS file. So let me quickly implement it. Blue background, and similar to this, background color needs to be blue, uh, and again the color needs to be white so that we can see the text. Okay, now let's go to the browser and see. Okay guys, you can see now that the Spider-Man paragraph tag is highlighted in blue color while the Batman color is still transparent. So basically there is no color to the Batman paragraph tag. Now this is as expected because we have this ngClass directive which places these two class based on these two conditions. So guys, uh, we don't need to give this condition right here on the screen or on the template. What we can do very well is we can bind this class to a particular class property from a component. So what I mean is basically instead of giving this condition right here as person is equal to Spider-Man, what I can do is I can give a condition from my uh, component class component. So in my person component.ts class, I'm going to implement this condition variable or condition property. This should be a class property on my component class. So right here, I need to implement this property or I need to create this property. So private condition equal to true. So now I have this condition variable set to true. So this is always going to meet this condition because this condition will always be true. So we should be seeing the blue color in all the classes, in all the paragraph tag basically. So right here you can see Superman is blue, Spider-Man is blue, and Batman is also blue. Right guys? So more or less this is what ngClass basically does. It is used to make or put a class on a particular HTML node uh, by checking a particular condition on your component. Next guys, we are going to see ngStyle, and ngStyle guys is very much similar to ngClass. The only difference being ngClass uh, ngClass takes a CSS class and then a condition, while ngStyle takes the style properties or the CSS properties, valid CSS properties, and then it also takes a condition. Sorry, ngStyle does not take a condition, rather it takes the valid CSS values. So what I mean is something like this. If you see, ngStyle is a directive that I have placed, and the value that I have provided to it is this object key whose key is this color property and whose value is red. So basically this first thing or the keys for ngStyle directive should be a valid CSS property. So you can use any of the CSS property like color, height, width, text align, any valid CSS property you can use as the key, and corresponding to it you will have to provide a valid CSS property value. So for color you can provide any color. If you have height you can provide something like 100 pixel, 200 pixel, something of that kind. But these keys and value should be a valid set of CSS properties. So now let's see if it works on our browser. So guys, as you can see the tag are all red now. So all the paragraph tag, the text color has changed to red, and it's because we are applying this color property and we are giving this red value. Again, we are not just restricted to use a particular CSS property. We can use as many property as we want. So let me quickly use another one, height. I'm going to use and going to make it let's make it 100 pixel. So what I have done now is I have put an ngStyle which has two values basically. One of them is color which is set to red, and one of them is height which is set to 100 pixel. So basically all my paragraph tags should have a height of 100%, and as you can see on the screen now their height has increased to 100 pixel each. Right guys? So this is what ngStyle directive does. This is how you can provide a particular styling to your HTML depending on some values from your or some conditions or some values from your component class as well. So basically we can bind these properties from a class component as well. So instead of giving this color red right here on the screen or on the HTML, what I can do is I can bind this value uh, I can bind this color property to a value or a property from my class component, and then I can make changes to my class component properties. So what I mean is I need to implement a color property here. It's a class property and I can give it any value that I want. Let's give it blue this time. Okay, so color is equal to blue now, and basically this color will be binded to this HTML color right here. So now you can see the text is all blue. If I change it to something like what, let's make it yellow. Okay, so once the page refreshes it should be yellow, and yes, it is in yellow, although it's not very readable. Let's change it to something like orange, and you should be seeing the text in orange color now. Yes, right here we can see it. So guys, this is what ngClass and ngStyle directives are used for. You can basically bind each one of them to your component class properties, and then whenever you make change to that particular property, for example, whenever I make change to this color property or this condition property, based on that my directives behavior on HTML changes. So guys, these are two important behavior directives to be used in Angular, and you'll be using them a lot in your Angular development. That's all I have for this video, guys. If you like the video, please like it on YouTube as well, and please subscribe for more upcoming videos. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next one.